Hello! This video is all about a Bodge It and Scamper builder. He installed a toilet room and toilet and some rather dodgy electrics for a little old lady, and unfortunately the toilet just did not work, and I'm going to show you why that was the case in the video. I mean, it's pretty obvious, but more work needed to be done, and obviously the builder just scarpered and left the poor little old lady without a usable toilet. Now, I know this little old lady because I installed a Valiant Turbomax boiler for her some 20-30 years ago now, and I've been servicing it over the years. Now, she called me because she wanted this room and toilet gone. She wanted it gone from my life completely because it was getting her down and she just had enough of it. Now, I did offer to try and get it working. I couldn't have done the plastering because I'm not a plasterer, but I certainly think I could have got the toilet working for her. But yeah, that would have been more money, and like I said, she just wanted it gone. So in the end, that's what I did for her. It's a real shame, and she still doesn't have a downstairs toilet, and she's probably hundreds or maybe thousands of pounds worse off now. So this video is more of a warning. If you're going to get some work done, make sure that you get a reputable builder, someone local. I always recommend getting local people to do work for you, because if there's any problems, they're local. Whereas anybody else who's farther away, they're just not going to come. And I've seen it so many times. A classic example of this is maybe you get a new radiator fitted and maybe one of the valves has a little tiny weep on it, and then you give that plumber a call, he lives miles away, and you just don't hear from him. He says he's going to come and he never turns up. Whereas you got your local plumber, you give him a call, he pops in, sorts it out, job done. And I see this all the time. It's not like it doesn't happen, I see it all the time. So a word of warning, just always get local people to do the work for you. Builders and tradesmen will often ask you to pay for your materials up front. Now that's perfectly acceptable, and what I always recommend is that you pay the supplier directly, because those materials may be thousands of pounds. But that way you'll then own all materials, i.e. your boiler, your pipework, all that stuff. You pay for it and then you own it. And then pay the rest of the bill when the work is completed. And of course, when the work's being carried out, or even before it's carried out, if you have any questions, do ask. Don't wait to the end, because then it's often too late. If you're a new plumber and you always want a happy customer, something I would recommend is, say they ask you to put a new radiator in. Don't just fit it on the wall. I always ask my customer exactly where they want it. I'll position it on the wall and I'll say, do you want it here? Do you want to move it to the left slightly? Do you want to move it to the right slightly? And then they tell me exactly where they want it, and I'll put a mark on the wall so they know that's exactly where it's going to go. I can ask them how high they want it and where they want the pipework to come down the wall. That way there's going to be no nasty surprises, and they're going to have the job which they're expecting, and you can then easily do the job with confidence, knowing that there's not going to be any issues at the end of the job. And that's the way I work, and I've never had a problem, and that's the way you get your happy customers. Right, now let's show you what that dodgy builder did. So this is the hallway leading from the front door into what was a dining room. So Mr. Bodge It has built some false walls and put some plasterboard up. He installed a light and a bit of dodgy plastic conduit to a fan which he's installed in the wall. And here is the toilet. It's a nice looking toilet. It has a basin built into the cistern. He installed a light switch and some rubbish looking conduit. My suggestion would be to use a pull cord switch. Then no wires would have been needed to run down the wall at all. And he could have done the same again for the fan, taken the wire from the light pendant, back up into the ceiling, and then dropped it down again next to the fan, where it should go into a switched fuse spur, so the fan can be electrically isolated if needed. But of course that's missing. Now what he's done here is he's taken a new cable from the fuse board and he's run a live neutral and earth from the downstairs ring main, and not the lighting circuit. All electrical cables inside your property should have an earth wire. The earth wire is to protect you from your appliance in case it develops a fault. It's also there to protect the cables in case they become damaged underneath the floor. Although the light and the fan wouldn't need an earth, all the earth wires inside the cables should be all connected together to protect the cables. But you can see that Mr. Bodge It has cut that earth cable off. So none of those new cables are protected. There's even an earth connection inside the back box, which is used to join the earth wires together. But Mr. Bodge It didn't bother to use that. Now I thought I'd just show you this dodgy bit of wiring upstairs underneath the floor. Mr. Bodge It has run in the new grey cable, But all those other cables and wires, those are original. They should be inside some sort of box. And the worst thing is these wires come over the top of the bit of copper pipe. So over time, those wires might wear through onto the copper pipe, which could make the pipe become live. Or if it was a gas pipe, it could cause a fire. So I expect this was a bit of handy DIY work. And unfortunately, I see this sort of thing all too often. And look, there's an old red bicycle torch there, which would have been shining on the job. He obviously forgot about it and left it under the floor. Now the inside's not too bad. Obviously it needs plastering and the electrical wires sorting out and a switch fuse spare fitted. It's the outside where the nightmare really begins. Now the poor homeowner did try using the toilet, but of course, as you can imagine, it did not work at all. Nothing wrong with the toilet, just the soil pipe outside. Just before I show you what he's done with that soil pipe, don't forget, click on the old thumbs up, click on that subscribe, ring on the bell, share it with anyone else who may be interested. And down in the description, you'll find lots of links to other help videos which are made, like how to replace a leaking radiator valve, how to upgrade your controls to smart controls, and lots of other really helpful videos to make your systems more efficient. So do check those videos out. Now who can spot what the problem is? Obviously there's no clamps clamping the pipe to the wall, but that's because the pipe is literally sat on the ground all the way along to where it vanishes down into the ground and obviously comes out inside that drain somewhere. Now you might be saying, well, what's wrong with the soil pipe? Well, what's wrong with the soil pipe is it should be on a downhill slope. And you can see here, if you look at the brick lines, you can see it's pretty much level that first 3 meters. And then the last kind of 2.5 meters, it has a slight downhill, but it is only slightly, what's that, an inch? So the wastewater from the toilet is never going to flush away. It's just going to go into the pipe and sit there because there's no way it can run down a pipe. Now soil pipes should be installed with a minimum fall of 1 in 110 and a maximum fall of 1 in 40. What that means is for every 110 centimeters of pipe, the pipe should drop down by 1 centimeter. And that's the minimum. But of course, this soil pipe is completely level. If anything, it rises up very slightly in the middle. I guess Mr. Bodge It and Scarper didn't take into account that the driveway was higher than the floor inside. Now, I'm not sure what the best method would have been to sort this out. Maybe just raise the toilet up inside. So put it on a plinth or something, or dig up the driveway and run a whole new soil pipe in. But obviously that would have been much more expensive. And this poor lady had had enough of this job and she just wanted it gone. And although this is not my normal work, because I fitted her boiler for her many, many years ago, she wanted me to remove the whole thing for her. So all the stud work's now gone. I bricked up and plastered up the holes. Capped off the cold water pipe underneath the floor, removed those dodgy electrics, filled in the hole outside, capped off that bit of soil pipe underneath the ground, and filled in the hole where the fan was. So there we go, that's all done now, and like I said, it's really sad because she still doesn't have a downstairs toilet, and she's a lot worse off due to Mr. Bodge It and Scarper. So always try and get a reputable builder to do the work for you. Right, that's about it then. So I do hope you found this video interesting. As usual, you can click on one of the links if you want to see one of my other videos. And click on the old thumbs up, click on that share, click on subscribe, share it with anyone else who may be interested. And a cup of coffee in my toolbox fund is always really appreciated. Bye for now, and I hope to see you in the next video.